What's up, guys? Matt Alex here, and we're going to go ahead and start off with my normal daily. First off, you'll notice that I have the monthly and annual, so I'll go ahead and collect those first. This is going to be my mail from Palace. And because it is black market time, we're going to go ahead and grab the black market for a while. Now I'm looking in my skills to see if it's worth purchasing what I just found in the black market. The top one uses Demon Essence, where the bottom uses that Magic Essence. Here, I'm just checking my quantity. Again, just trying to see if it's actually worth purchasing or not. I am a demon, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my demon inheritance there. And these dark yellow stones, you're going to need these later on for when you actually start getting more gear, along with those that I just bought. I'll show those a little bit more and see why it's important to buy them in the black market for spirit stones instead of what you actually have to use later on. Fire material. Gosh, do I love fire material. Now, I do have some more refreshes, but those are with the ads, and honestly, I don't really want you guys to have to go through that. Now, this here is a Void exclusive. This is the realm where you actually fight people for spirit, and you create those items there with that said spirit. You will need these for your spirit body later on. I'm just checking to see when the last time someone fought Azura was, because I want to get as much as I can. Now this is the Force area. These are basically your Void quests. If you need anything from Void, these are what you're going to have to finish. They mostly use 6th grade materials and things that you normally won't have extras of. Moonstones, because you probably sold them all. Heartgather elixirs, things along those kind. And each zone is actually going to have something a little bit different. Whoops. Alright. About to make some more, but then I realize I actually have to claim what I've already made. Because honestly, I forget about those all the time. Now, Alchemist, again, different area. You'll have different things that you can actually exchange for, and that's really the whole point of doing all these quests. They're extremely limited. They don't refresh throughout the day, so you really want to get all of them if you can. Here's a Spirit Pavilion. This one is honestly going to be one of the most important ones because this is your artifact. Artifact, of course, is all your new gear. Very important. And here is the Celestial Tower. You will need to be fighting here. Just going over the rules. Take your time to read. You basically need to pick your monster. Doesn't really matter which. You'll get an essence for every 10 levels. And then you'll be able to actually use those essences to exchange for later. Now, after every fight, you actually have to pick something that happens to you. But if you read the rules, it does not stack. So choose wisely. Choose something you're really not going to need. Like here, I choose speed. It doesn't matter if my speed goes down. And for speed's sake, I'm just going to use some trial towers. Go up to my highest level and see if I can beat it. Now this demerit that I picked earlier will carry over to this. So it is important to know what you picked, even if you're going to use all your trials. This guy does so many effects, I don't even know what all of them are. I was really hoping my Firebird's Confusion here would actually do a little bit more to help me out, but just the dodge wasn't there. So now that I failed, I can no longer continue out. So here is the exchange menu. You need 10 just for one Chaos Essence. You need 5 for one of these Heaven Dews. And you need 10 of each of those essences just for one Chaos. It is expensive. And I'm just going to go do some sect dailies here, which include all my quests, which, honestly, very easy. The main thing I noticed with this Immortal sect is the fact that you'll be using Beast Souls as quest material. Always say hello. And of course, I'm just going to go into the sect fight. One thing I noticed when I moved up to Immortal is the sect fight is actually pretty easy still. However, the Immortal fight, which we'll see in a little bit, is rather rough. Without the right hit, you're just not going to hit them. I have almost 2 million attack, and it still takes me quite a few hits. But as you can see here on the sect fight, 1 hit, 2 hits. It's rather simple. Now my skills are more towards PvP, where they are self-created, and my very second one, which is kind of my main one that I use first, Mad Key there, it has a 8% chance to do 3 attacks, so it'll basically attack the entire line in PvP, and it has a 20% chance to guarantee that I get 2 hits in a row, which means my next 2 skills will automatically hit. And then you might have seen there I attacked twice. That comes from my inheritance. I have a 10% chance to do a single combo, which honestly, compared to the other inheritances, is rather low. Just double checking what I'm going to need to actually get promoted here. And here is that Immortals. Now this one costs 50k on your reputation, which at these levels really shouldn't be an issue. It only takes, I don't know, maybe about 5 blitzes. Now I have the Spirit Eye that allows you to have more blitzes in a day. So when we do those later, you'll see I actually have 55 per day. Yeah, you can just see how much more dangerous these fights are. They're killing me without my barbarian physique. I wouldn't even be surviving at this point. Now, since I am demon, you might be wondering how I actually got the barbarian physique. I spent a lot of fairy jade, I'll just say that. I actually bought an inheritance slip, went down to the spirit world, which you can actually do through that void tower. You actually have a chance, I'll show a little bit later. and you can just go down to other areas you've never been. I personally should have gone and gathered all the other beauties just by entering and betraying the sect, because I knew I wouldn't really matter. I can just go straight back up. I don't have to worry about anything because I already put my inheritance in a slip, so I really should have taken advantage of that. Now we're just going to go to our daily discussion here, which right now shouldn't be too much of an issue. Depends if I start fighting Kita. He right now is, there's my triple attack there. He's just, with his sword skills, he does a lot of damage. But with my speed, since I can always hit him first, even though he's got the barbarian, I should be able to beat him out. Here's Loxa. Now he's been going really strong lately, so I always kind of am wary of him. Now you'll see that 0 damage is from his physique. However, my talisman will actually beat that up. So, talisman is rather important. It's one of the few things that I went really hard on. So I do suggest you at least do not skip out on doing your daily mystery maps to get all your fire material that you can. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I have both the monthly and the annually, so I get 140 fairy jade a day. And I kind of use that to my advantage. I use 80 when gathering fire material, and I use 10 while doing my partner, and I will talk to her another time. Now, one thing this game that's kind of added in are all these ads. You can just click on an ad, watch a 15-30 second, and you'll get all sorts of benefits. If you're free to play, this will really help out, and I do not suggest skipping it. Me, again, just for sake of this video, to make it easier on you, I did go ahead and skip them. Here we have Sneaky, one of the other voids. He does some damage, but thankfully I just have the defense to really soak it up. Just isn't quite there. Now what you see him doing is a trick of, he has the barbarian physique, so he will have 3 immunity damages, and then when you kill him, he has the geomorphic physique, which will actually resurrect him with some HP, and he's gaining HP every turn. So once he starts getting his defense up, he is going to be a zombie. Do make sure to let me know how you guys think about these fights. I know they get a little mundane and there's quite a few of them. Later on throughout the video, I'm just going to go ahead and speed up the battles, because at this point you already know what's happening, and it's not like you have to really watch what's happening. It's just me hitting hard. Like I said, we're fighting Kitty here. You can see I'm faster. Again, he does some major damage to me, but thankfully I got my first hits off him, so I was able to take out his barbarian physique very fast. Alright, now that those are done, I'm going to go to my forbidden area. Now again, this is easily accessed by bribing the elder, which is extremely recommended because he gives you a essence as soon as you join in, and it's great to have those. Start creating your skills. It only takes 3 to create a skill, and it takes 1 of each kind to reshape or to recomprehend. It is RNG when doing those skills, so really it's up to you on what you want to go through. I'll show a little bit later all the skills, go over the information that's there, and you can kind of see attacks, very strong, very important to actually create. The defenses, honestly, are not as great. The defenses you get throughout the sects are much stronger, and I'll go ahead and I'll show that to you a little bit later. Great thing about me being in the middle for these fights for my secret skill here is the fact that I can just keep healing myself over and over. This is where I use Zhao Mad, my little King of Queen Pea there. He has the confusion, so he'll move an attack every once in a while over to Nalan or to himself. Just makes it a little bit easier on soaking a little bit more damage, I can get through quite a few of these fights. Like I said, I'm just going to kind of speed up through these fights now because it's just either me hurting them or they're hurting me. Book of Heaven, this is going to be for my spirit skill. Now again, I see so many tiles just because of how many god eyes I have. It will vary by person, but you can only select 3 tiles every time. It's just a kind of a guess for me at this point to see if I can find the specific one, just in case when I do open this up, you'll see I'm just not finding 3. And I got lucky there. God eyes are very important, so I suggest you guys making sure you can do those fights every day. If you have the extra spirit stones, it is worth it to go to the ground hall and pick up that extra one per day. It's only 50k spirit stones. Early on, that's going to be a lot, so it's really difficult at that point, and I don't think quite worth it. But later on, when you have an abundance, it'll be worth every penny. Yeah, just turning on that speed mechanic because really, it's just going to be the tower here. This is for my demon inheritance, and it just needs to go fast because it's almost 100 floors of absolutely nothing. First hit probably goes about to the 30th floor, and then it starts taking a couple more. Now, one thing that will go crazy here is the 90 barrier. As soon as I hit 90, it is just absolutely impossible to do any damage to it. I'm going to go ahead and lose somewhere around the 80th, just use my trial tower, and go up to the highest floor I've gotten to, which is 90. Best thing about this is it costs you nothing but a little bit of time. If you can, just every 5 minutes, come in here, try it again. RNG on these fights are a big factor at the higher levels, because I believe it's the 70th or 80th level where he starts doing a triple attack, so he might be able to take out your entire line. But if you fight him again, sometimes you'll just get lucky and he can't even do that anymore. So really, always try to attempt these fights, especially when you're getting close in them, just to see if you can win. Costs you nothing but a little bit of time, once every 5 minutes, and who knows, you can get a little bit higher, and all you have to do is use a trial tower, and you'll always be able to go above it. My suggestion is, while you're in the deity sects, is to use up those extra points to buy these trial towers every day. I have about 150. I currently cannot purchase them where I'm at because I need all that to help me get the promotion so I can have everything unlocked. That contribution is going to be really important for right now, so I'm just saving mine. All those extra ones I already bought previously before I moved up. Honestly, I would have bought a lot more if I would have thought of this trick a little bit sooner. But sometimes I just felt really lazy, so I'd use a whole 100 on the tower just to get through it, and it really was a waste. I could have saved a lot more. So now I have to manually do this instead of just blitzing. Alright, so just going to use my trial tower like I said I would to finish this off. And let's take a look at skills that we can make. Here is your origin skill. You will comprehend that first with 3 chaos seeds. You need 10 chaos essence just for 1 seed. So like I said before, everything's expensive. When doing enhancements, it is a additive, so it takes 1 for the first attempt, 2 for the next, and increases so on. You'll see here you need 5 of those chaos essences just to increase the skill from purple to orange, but of course your origin already has to be orange. Let's take a look at the stats here. Now here I'm going to show you these defense skills much stronger. You can see the lower cap here is around, look at that, HP plus 35%, HP plus 40%. However, when you look at the self-created skills, it is limited just like the attack skill percentages. So your first part, which is your 3rd level, you can only get up to 7% on your defenses, which just is, it's so low. For defenses, it's just not worth it. But when you look at your attack skills, it is. Make sure to look at the rules here when you're going through. It'll show you all the skills that you can actually get with these level multipliers. Your attacks come with so many different things, whether it's your deal 2 times damage, deal 2 times damage, and you're gonna hit the enemy. You can reduce the enemy's attack. So many different things. But you look at the defense skill, all you have is HP, physical defense, magic defense, anti-crit, and dodge for the 1st, 3rd, and 6th level. And all you really get on the 9th level is damage reduction. It's just not worth it when you can have the sex skills. Honestly, go with those. There's no reason not to. When you make your own sect, I'm sure you can start creating those skills at that point, and it'll just be more worth it. If you can't, then honestly it's disappointing, and I suggest making your sect much later. Try to ungate these options because it's just more worthwhile for you. I'm showing Nalon here, who is my main partner. I've heard about 14,000, so you can see I'm just short of Lovetail. Most you want to get up to is that 30k mark for that Love Legend skill. Now, since I did get the dual cultivation, which increased my cultivation per hour, which affects myself and her, I'm going to use up all these isolations that I've saved. I haven't gotten it for quite a few days, so I had almost a full week. Use all those. Always like to try to check the explore area. This is dependent on your realm, so if you have a lower level, it's just not worth it to go into these. It's only a little bit of spirit stones and some materials, which honestly aren't very useful up at this level because it's just not really worth it. I do the explore because I want to go ahead and get some more isolation tokens for Nalon that I can use at this point. Now here, I'm just going to go ahead and increase my wood. I am working on getting 184 on the array, and it is expensive. You need about 181 on wood, 161 on metal, and your, not 181 on wood, 181 on herb. You only need about 141 on the wood. I really should be leveling the wood more so I can increase my food. But 161 with Nalon, which I get an increase in my food, it's okay for now. Just trying to save a little time. Now, I wasn't able to gift Nalon because I didn't have any flowers. Again, I just kind of have that locked in the sect because I just transferred over. So I'm going to go ahead and hopefully get this evil spirit fight, which I did. These are going to give you 3 fire flowers every time. So I always suggest doing the evil spirit fight in the tour. It doesn't change from, I believe, your deity realm is when you first start seeing this fight. It doesn't change. Always do this fight. It's worth it. It's worth the time. You get all these 6th level, which again, aren't really important right now, except for when you're turning in all those quests. So every little bit will just help here. These friend trades, I just don't think are worth it. They're very expensive, but you don't get anything good out of it. Now, these glazed trade fairs honestly aren't much different than deity. Look, you'll even see that I just get regular demon sect stuff here. I've only seen green and blue so far. No purples, no oranges, nothing like that. So again, I got another evil spirit fight. I will make this time to finish it because I want all those flowers. Because I can't buy them from the sect right now. As a deity, you can buy 2 every day. Make sure you do. It just adds up. Partners get so expensive at this point that every little bit really is important. Unknown Palace, I'm sure you've seen it quite a few times. I'm pretty terrible at it, so you'll see me probably miss quite a few here. Yep, failed already. Of course, they're going to give me another attempt right after. Now, one thing to note is you do use energy to do your tours. One thing I forgot to mention before, you do use the same energy to create those void sects quests. So make sure you do the quests first and then you do your tours afterwards. I'm at about 120 per day on energy. I try to stockpile all my energy for reset. That way I can actually use that energy that I've saved on those quests. So all the other energy I can use on my tours. Now, right now, I'm just using all the energy until I get Artifact 6. And then I'm going to have to level that all the way up because all your artifact skills are going to be in the exchange, which I'll show here in a little bit. And it is very important to get those leveled up as fast as you can, because the higher you have your artifact, the more things you can do to your skills here. Right now, we're just trying to make sure we can create cyan gear. It is not known yet if we need yellow fire in order to get yellow gear. Here I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a bug abuse. I'm going to blitz and take all this gear. Normally your bag has some set slots, but this kind of bypasses it for whatever reason when you blitz, and it just stockpiles it all in your bag. So you'll see here, I only have about 170 slots is the maximum, but I have over 300 items in it. I'm just going to go ahead, go into dismantle, take it all. This black iron gold I'm saving up just so I'll be able to make cyan gear as soon as I have that level 6 artifact. I mostly like the blitz the material here. It's just not worth it to do the manual fights so many times. But when it comes to the fire material, I tend to do the manual fights because if you don't know, there's a little bit of a bug on if you click fast enough when you finish your fights, you'll either get a repeated fight or you'll actually get a next level fight. So there, I didn't get any of it. Now, the immortal mana fight here actually seems to level with whatever realm you're at, so it's actually much more difficult. This is the first day I'm actually able to defeat the 3rd level without having to blitz. Again, I'm going to try for it. Just didn't get it fast enough. But you'll see here, they'll take out both my partner and my pet and actually start to whittle me down. Alright, we're going into our fire material. And this is where you'll see more of that glitch in action. So right there, I ended up doing the same fight over instead of the fight that has 5 and they regenerate. This fight. In particular, you saw I actually got the 2-person fight right there in the beginning, back to back. Again, all you need to do is kind of spam where that start button is going to be, and you'll be able to skip these fights. very good early on, especially in Deity when you can't really defeat all of them, or if you're having a really hard time with a specific level. It'll just give you that little advantage, allow you to blitz it later, because all you ever have to do is complete the mystery map once, and you'll be able to forever blitz it. Just going to go through all the materials here. And again, I personally get 140 Fairy Jade a day just through my passes. If you're a free-to-play player, you'll be able to still get Fairy Jade, and that's going to be 35 a day just from the daily quests. And then you'll be able to watch, I believe it's 5 ads a day. They give you 5 Fairy Jade, so that's going to be another 25. It's going to be a little short of doing the trick of buying 2 per day here in the fire material, but I find that's the most cost effective. If you can, I really suggest you get the monthly pass. It's $5 a month, but it's such a huge increase, especially when you're trying to save Fairy Jade, because you'll need it for a lot of materials later on. Not specifically Void, but just in general on getting your extra cultivation skills, getting these physiques. They are able to be saved towards. It's really a huge bonus to be able to buy these different physiques. They normally are about 3,280 a piece, so it can take a while to get them, so the sooner you do it, the better. Also, this game really unlocks, especially in Heaven Tower, once you've spent at least 99 cents. So if anything, put $1 into the game, get that token, it'll unlock the Heaven's Tower, which just unlocks the rest of the game for you. There's so much locked behind in that upper level, and I'll go ahead and I'll show that tower just a little bit later. Now we're going to go ahead and go to my inheritance. I get 7% of my partner's stats, which is very good. However, the 7th, 8th, 9th slot, 10th slot do nothing for me. You'll see here I have a red Immortal Flame all the way up to 36 already. And you'll see it's using 6th level for my Gather Mana here. It's very expensive at 200k per click. My advance effect, and my 5 elements. Talisman is one of my strongest features, so I probably have one of the higher in the game. It's more worth doing the pre-yin yang to get your defenses up rather than to get that elemental attack. I'm currently working on getting my anima up because I want my cultivation percentage to increase a little bit more. Now here, I'm going to use a trick to try to make sure I can beat myself. I'm going to remove all my armor except for my weapon and my hat to make sure that I don't actually dodge. I'm going to take off my defensive skills. And me personally, I have to take off my partner because again, I get 7% of her stats and it just increases my health way too much. We're going to go into the cultivation area and do the deep isolation. Now, you will get another God Eye, which can decrease how much of these stats they are. First fight, I believe, is normally around like 70% or so, 60%, 65%. I really can't remember which, but it increases. First time you get deep isolation, you should only be able to do it 3 times. You get a fourth time when you get to deity, and then a fifth time when you get to void. It does increase in spirit cost every time. I can't do all of mine in a row because my spirit's not there enough. So we're going to go ahead and see what you can get in the sects from the shops, which is absolute garbage. Just not worth it. Free cast, even in the void level, you can actually only go up to blue fire. Again, that's why we're unsure if you need gold fire, because as we can see so far, it's not even in these sects. So maybe you really have to increase your own personal flame, which makes me very happy because that is what I've been working on for a very long time. We can see how high some of these realms are going to be. With this specific furnace that I have right now, this red, just as an example, I'm going to show how much I can put in here. I believe it's 9,500, which when we take another look at the information here, that should be the perfection level of void. So I can't even make the next level of gear. So I can't even pre-prepare. So again, this is why that artifact tower of void is so important, because we really want to be able to get all these extras and prepare ahead of time. So I've used enough time to go ahead and do my last fight. Again, with my attack, it's just one shot. Honestly, if I couldn't get that single shot in because I don't have any of that gear on, it would absolutely destroy me. Now that last fight is 200% of yourself. So it is extremely strong. So without doing this trick, I would have absolutely no faith in beating myself quickly because I have very high defenses and very high health. I get this through my pets, which I have a spread of 5 fire pets to increase my attack by 35% per fire pet, and then I increase my health through my wood pet, which I have 2 of. Currently, I am using up all the eggs that I have saved over the time frame, which honestly is just not worth doing. Take your time every day. You want to use up all these eggs so you don't have a giant stockpile like me. Just gonna go through whatever one I have the lowest of and add that in. Like I said, I've just been doing the eggs for a really long time. So, just going to dismantle all of them. Take that power. Just save bag space, which sounds kind of useless at this point because I have so many extra slots. I'm actually not going to use 15 of them to make that core because it's just not necessary. Most people will be buying 10 wood bags, 10 water bags a day from that ground source. To do the same trick, you just open all of them. You're going to go ahead and use them and dismantle to try to get a core a day if you're lucky. Now you can buy the moonstones and sediment stones right here in the Business League ground source hall. The foundry is absolutely useless. The alchemy I just use for those pills that you can use with your spirit, because your spirit is renewable over time, and it's just worth it for those trades. So I got 14 wood power there, which again, one shy of getting a core. So having a core a day will really help you increase your bird or your element up to red very, very fast. Again, I'm saving bag space just by getting all those spirits, but I'm not actually using them. I don't use the earth for anything. It's just super hard to get earth. So honestly, I've just been saving them for that very reason. I used to use water in order to have that increased crit and HP, but I went ahead and switched over to the bird. That way I could have better defenses and more HP. I do want the 10k effect there, but as you can see, my favor is currently low. Like I said before, I'm actually working on blitzing every day so I can increase that favor so I can get those benefits. The first 3 benefits will always affect your self, and then the last 3 will affect the actual pet itself, which thankfully the devs have actually added that into the translation text. Now, I've been working on my fire pet for a very long time. I actually have all the pills. You can use 30 pills of each type from your spirit pool, and I have all of them except for 5 completed. So I'm almost completely done with the pills on my main pet. Now, Awakening is the next level for voids on their pets. You're going to need 2 mid-void pets, which no one's going to have because no one's really mid-void yet. Now, I do have that cultivation boost, so I am going to do the ads here, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cut these out. Special skills here. These are obtainable when you make your own sect. Right now, I just mostly work on the demon art. As you can see, my artifact is up to R5, and so is my alchemy. So as soon as I get R6, I'll be able to instantly go up on that. You are able to get the next level of emptiness and chaos and everything else from the actual tower. Right now, I just have emptiness because my fairy jade is out. Next up, we'll take a look at the spirit body, and I'll show you, as you can see, when you hit void, there is a 3rd item that you'll need for every click, and it does change. Now again, you will find these in that spirit area of the void, which you'll do at the spirit gathering every single day. You'll want to do a couple fights, try to pick someone that you can win against, someone that won't retaliate against you. You are able to do spirit formations, which they give you a information box on. This will just let you know, hey, what pets should I put up here? It'll give you different benefits depending on what pets you actually pick. Right now I have all fire pets. The level of them does not matter, so I actually locked 5 common fires just so I don't accidentally decompose them. But you get the same benefit. Now let's take a look at the actual exchange menu. So as you can see, these are all the materials you get. This holy city is where you actually work on your specific sect. That mountain seal is the first thing you'll need to make your own sect. And again, you can't even get that until you have 300. You can get all the different skills starting at level 1 and work your way up. All they're going to take is those holy city spirits. I've been doing it for a couple days, but as you can see, I'm only at like 130. And this is where you can actually go to the different worlds, as I suggested earlier, just for some benefits on getting those beauties or anything else. But do remember, you will actually need your inheritance and a slip so you do not lose it. Alchemy, as you can see here, very similar. Use those tokens to exchange. You'll get these different alchemy level pills. Quite a few of them haven't even been translated yet, but it's not as needed as the next zone, which of course is artifact. Most expensive, you're going to need 500 just to get your C6 artifact, your C7, your C8. All of them are already in there, all purchasable. You're really going to want them. You'll be able to buy your different furnaces here along with your different grade bags, so you'll be able to increase your capacity even more. All of them are there. Look at this. Remember those things we bought earlier from the market? You normally need 100 of those and wood, so you can see how expensive they are, and it's really worthwhile to buy them in the black market. Also just found out that Loxa did hit void, so I wanted to go ahead and give him a congratulations here. Going to go ahead and do my league information. So your daily construction, right now I'm saving all my fairy jades, so I'm just doing a basic construction. These bounties, they are RNG and will change depending on the level of your actual sect. 3 a day. I'm allowed 20 increases in a skill, so I went ahead and did those. Most of my guild is already taken out the monsters for the day, so I'm just going to throw in some normally you would need someone that's about peak deity level in order to defeat this thing by itself. My Nylon is just short. I was going to try to cheap out and use the rest of my lower level pets, but as you can see, it's just not quite enough. So I'm going to waste them all, and then in the end I'm going to have to rely on Zhao Mad and just go ahead and let him take it out. Because you can see these pets just aren't doing it. I was going to go ahead and fight that, but I decided to leave it for some of my other sects. As you can see in the sect market, there's actually nothing really worth getting. Maybe you can get some of those areas for the Explorer, but really I'm just saving my points, hoping that something good will pop up that I can actually buy later. Now the cultivation level of what speed your Nylon gets is dependent on you as well. Make sure you read the rules on everybody. I don't have that many secret skills. I got the Misty secret skill from my actual league. Secret skills level very slow for your partner. One of those things you want to get as fast as possible because she only does 5 per 15 seconds and it will never increase. So yes, you want to use those as much as you can. It is almost boss time, so I'll have to add that in for next time. My cultivation percentage, you'll see, is again 60% I got from the boost there, and then I have about 5.5k from my secret skills. I do love to train my items. This is where you're going to use your black iron gold, which you got from dismantling all that gear when you blitzed, and it'll randomly increase it. Just cost a bunch of spirit stones. Or you can do the bottom option. You get those cleansings, which you can buy at your league. More expensive to do it that way, but it will guarantee your next refresh will be stronger. This is the Heaven Tower. You'll see here you'll be able to buy those essences. Again, it's much more pay to win if you do it that way. But those Heavenly Dews, which again you needed 5 of those essences, are only 500 Fairy Jade per one. You are going to use 1 Heavenly Dew. You need to use 1 for every 3 hours to get your origin up from purple to orange, and you'll have to do it 10 times. So it gets very expensive very quickly. Heavenly Tower, as much as pay to win is, it's all just about saving you time. In Void, you're going to use a lot of time doing a lot of those Void sects just to get them up. Well, that's all the time that I have for now. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if there's any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.